Today's mini lesson is on double object pronouns. As you look at these 4 examples given here on this first screen, you can see things like Yo se lo di a mi mamá. Ella nos las compró en la tienda. Tú me los regalaste hace una semana. Él te la enseñó en la clase. When we hear these sentences, they really don't make much sense in this form because we don't know what the antecedent was. For example, in the first sentence, Yo se lo di a mi mamá. The sentence reads, I gave something. We know to my mom is the say, but we don't know what this something is. And if I left out a mi mamá, this would be really unclear. So these sentences are the reduced form. This would be the very final thing you would say to avoid repetition over and over again. But you couldn't start a sentence saying this and have anybody have any idea what this means. Or here, ella nos las compró en la tienda. She bought something that's feminine for us in the store. So on and so on. If we review direct object pronouns in Spanish, you'll see the sentences on the left are the full form, and the ones in the blue italicized on the right are the simplified form. Yo compré una casa. Yo la compré. Ella come un sándwich. Ella lo come. Tú estudias las matemáticas. Tú las estudias. Él va a comprar los boletos. Él los va a comprar. Or, él va a comprarlos. Mi hermana pega a mí. Mi hermana me pega. You can see in each case I've taken here the yellow una casa and I've substituted for the word la, which is the feminine singular form for direct object pronoun. It goes in front of the conjugated verb. Unlike English where it'll typically follow, where you would say I bought it, here in Spanish it says I, it, bought. And there's good reason for this. The word la typically means the word the. So if we put it afterwards, like here I said, yo compré la, I would be expecting something to follow it, like la casa. But by putting it in front of the verb, it very clearly indicates that this is a direct object pronoun and it's not actually an article, the. Ella come un sándwich, because un sándwich is masculine singular. Now we switch the la to lo. It has nothing to do with the girl, has nothing to do with the person speaking. It's the actual noun, un sándwich, lo. Again, there's my verb, it goes in front. Las estudias, because las matemáticas. Él va a comprar los boletos, because it's masculine plural, we put it in front of the verb. However, you'll notice this one has 2 options. Because there are multiple pieces to the verb, we can either put it to the front or attach it to the end of the infinitive or the gerund. The infinitive would be your AR, ER, IR, and your gerunds would be your andos and your yendos. Our last one, mi hermana pega a mí, mi hermana me pega. So the direct object pronouns look like this. Me, te, lo, la, nos, os included for Spain, los and las. This would be direct object nouns that have been reduced to direct object pronouns like the word it and them. Indirect objects in Spanish work very similarly to the direct objects. You can see in this first example, ella escribe una carta a su mamá. They answer to whom or for whom something is being done. In this case, she writes a letter to her mom. Our simplified form says she writes a letter to her. The to her is a su mamá. Again, we're going to simplify and put it in front of the conjugated verb. Yo doy un regalo a mi abuela. Yo le doy un regalo. In this second sentence, the le is not the same as the first le. Here le is representing a su mamá, while now le is representing a mi abuela. To get rid of a nosotros, we can use the indirect object pronoun nos. El profesor enseña el libro a nosotros. The teacher shows the book to us. El profesor nos enseña el libro. We substitute for nos, put it in front of the conjugated verb. Tú das un lápiz a mí. Tú me das un lápiz. Again, substitute and put in front of the verb. Él llama a ellos por teléfono. Él les llama por teléfono. Les could represent a ellos. It could have also meant a ellas had that been the case, or even a ustedes, to all of you. The indirect object pronouns then look like this. Me, te, le, nos, os, and les. Here, le can represent to him, to her, or to usted. And les can be to them, the group of boys, to them, the group of girls, or to all of you. So if we're looking at double objects in Spanish, meaning we're using both a direct object and an indirect object in the same sentence, substituting with the pronouns, we have a very interesting situation occur. Remember this, always put people before things. So you can look at this first example. Yo compré una casa para mi mamá. In the substituted form, I'm going to use the word la to substitute for una casa. You can see it here. And I'm going to use the word le for para mi mamá. We just saw that. But then a problem arises. I would have then in the sentence, yo le la compré para mi mamá. The le la doesn't work because we don't want the double L repeated. So instead of having le la, I convert it to se. Yo se la compré para mi mamá. And oftentimes, although we wouldn't do this in English, we can actually leave in the direct object, I should say the indirect object noun, even though we've substituted with an indirect object pronoun. Let's look at the second example. Yo doy un regalo a mi abuela. Un regalo can be substituted with the word lo, masculine singular. A mi abuela le, we know that it's going to convert yo se lo doy. Instead of being yo le lo doy, yo se lo doy. El profesor enseña la lección a nosotros. La lección can be substituted for the word la. A nosotros can be substituted with the word nos. Put people first. El profesor nos la enseña. The teacher teaches it to us. What's the it? La lección. Who's it being taught to? A nosotros. Él va a comprar los boletos para ellos. So we have los boletos, los, para ellos, les. Once we put it together, él les lo va a comprar. However, again, we don't want to have the les lo like up here where we changed le la or le lo. Here, les los is going to become se los. So again, say and say. Here it's singular, here it's plural. We wouldn't understand that unless we have understanding of the first original sentence. I didn't write the other form here, but can you think of how this could also go? Because we have two pieces of the verb, you could say, él se los va a comprar, or you could say, él va a comprárselos, and put the se, people first, and then the thing, comprárselos, attached to the end of the verb. And our last example, tú das un lápiz a mí. Un lápiz, lo, a mí, me, put the person first, tú me lo das. So when we make a comparison of the double objects, we see the indirect objects, which we're going to put the people first, then the direct object, the thing. You can see that they're actually the same across the board. Me, te, nos, and os. Where we see a change is in the third person forms of le and les with lo, la, los, and las. And remember, whenever we have a combination of a le plus any of these bottom or les in any of these bottom, it will change to se, lo, se, la, se, los, however the form might be. Your turn for practice. Go ahead and pause the video in just a second and see if you can use these sentences with indirect object pronouns. It might be simplest to start with word-for-word translation using direct object and indirect object nouns, and then substituting as you work your way through. Go ahead and pause. Great job. Hopefully you see very similar sentences what I have here. I gave the pencil to her. So our original sentence would read, yo di el lápiz a ella. We can get rid of the word el lápiz with lo, it's a masculine singular, and a ella would have been le, but we convert it to se. Yo se lo di. Here, she asked him the information. We know it's going to be ella pide la información a él. We can substitute a él with le, and la información with la, it converts to se la. Ella se la pide. We bake a cake for the girls. Nosotros horneamos un pastel para las chicas. Un pastel can be substituted with lo, para las chicas with les, put the person first, then the object, les lo horneamos, but we know that will convert to se lo horneamos. You write a letter to me. Ustedes escriban una carta a mí. Ustedes escriben una carta a mí. We know that a mí converts to me. Una carta to le. The person goes first, then the object. Ustedes me la escriben. They give a book to her. Ella, it should be ellas dieron un libro a ella. Un libro lo, a ella le lo dieron. So it would become se lo dieron. That was just missing an S there. Ellas se lo dieron. And our last one, he buys a coat for the boy. Él compró un abrigo para el chico. We know that un abrigo becomes lo, para el chico le lo compró. It should be se lo compró. Muchas gracias.